Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. I know you missed me, but I've been uploading pretty good lately, you know, pretty good. But it's time to start back that Army Mondays. So today is Monday, and you know what we do on Mondays. You ask me a question, I give you my honest opinion about it, my assumption about it. But today is going to be a little different. I'm going to tell you about my experience on my first day reporting in Captain Career Course. Here we go. So you guys, I am stationed at Fort Lee. I'm at Fort Lee because my branch is ordnance. So if you're quartermaster, transportation, or ordnance, your training post is Fort Lee. That's the home base of everything, those three branches. So on this post, you have Air Force and you have Air Force, Army, Marines, and all the other service branches as well. So today's gonna be a little different. So today I'm going to be talking about my first day in processing to Fort Lee, ALU, as going to Captain Career. So I received my orders, and my orders had a report date of April 9th. So I decided to report a day early. You can report a day early, you can report a week early, or 2 weeks early. You can't report a month early in advance, because if something happened, you gotta come back, you gotta be accounted for and everything like that, but you're still on leave. So if you're gonna report early, I recommend to report like a day early or maybe a week early. So I signed in a day early, so April 8th. I signed in. So when I went to sign in at Fort Lee at ALU, so what you have to do, you have to go up there. Since everything's going on with this coronavirus, you have to be 6 feet apart. So once you walk in the building, they ask you a couple questions. They ask you if you've been to like 4 different states. I think it was Washington, California, New Jersey, and New York. So if you've been to those 4 states, they will test you. So they will just screen you to see if you have a coronavirus. If you don't have a coronavirus, they'll put your mask on, put your gloves on, and you can walk up there and you can sign in. So on the sign-in desk is you have to find your name. So you find your name and you initial it. The next thing I did was, the next book is a processing form. So they ask you like your address, your first and last name, your rank, do you have any kids, what's the kid's name, excuse me, if you want to be a part of FRG events, if you don't want to be a part of FRG events, do your spouse want to be a part of FRG, and then they have the contact numbers below. Then on the note beside that form is take a picture of the contact information, because you can't take the form out once you like put all your information down. So I took a picture of the contact information. So it tells you once you do those 2 things, you have to call your XO. So I didn't know at Captain Career Course you have a first sergeant, a company commander, and you have an XO. So I was like, okay, this is like a typical like company, but it's Captain Career Course. So in my class, you have a mixture of captains and first lieutenants promotable. So I'm a first lieutenant and I have to be promotable to go to Captain Career Course. So I am promotable, and you have other lieutenants in there as well as are promotable. You have captains in there that have been a captain for maybe like 2 years, or just made captain. So you just have a mixture of like everybody in one class. So my class was supposed to have 200 people, but we only ended up with 90 because everything that was going on. People couldn't get there on time, so they had to be like go to the next class. So they had to be recycled and go to the next class to start with that class because of everything that's going on. So after that, they'll tell you to come back the next day on the actual day that you report at 06:30. So I know what you're thinking. I was thinking the same thing. Like, why am I coming at 06:30? Are we about to take a PT test, or what are you about to do? You about to get shots and everything? Because when we went to Bolick, so you go to Bolick the first day, you do all your in-processing work, so you do all your paperwork. The second day you get your shots, and then the third day is the PT test. But since everything's going on with this coronavirus, they're doing it a little differently. So we do not have to take a PT test right now. When everything starts to cool down and we get off this lockdown in Virginia, because in Virginia we have a lockdown until June 10th. So once everything get cleared up and they said we can go outside, we can be around each other, then we will take a PT test. But until then, we cannot take a PT test because of the virus issues and everything that's going on. But they did tell you guys to, well, tell us to make sure that we work out, do like workout in the house, go to the track where it's not a lot of people, or go someplace where there's not a lot of people there. So make sure you have that distance so you won't catch the virus. So that's what I've been doing lately. I've been going to the track at different times where not too many people's around, or I go run around a block where not too many people run around the block. And I just try to keep myself away from, you know, away from people, because I don't want to catch it, because I have little babies at home and I don't want, you know, catch that virus and everything just start, you know, spazzing out of control. So once you report the next day at 06:30, so when I came, they had little X's on the ground 6 feet apart. So they had X's on the ground. You have to stand on the X until you've been called in. So they only gonna let 8 people in at a time. So once those 8 people get finished, they'll bring the next 8 in, and they do it like that. So when I got in there, they ask you again, have you been to these 4 states? Washington, New Jersey, New York, and California. If your answer is no, they'll tell you to put your gloves on, put your mask on if you have one, and walk to the conference room. Once you get in the conference room, they have tables that are 6 feet apart from each other. You have to set the table by yourself, and you have paperwork to fill out. And then they gave us a coronavirus sheet of information, what you're supposed to do and everything, and it's a policy letter as well. And they have a policy letter. Alright guys, so in that policy letter that came from the Commander General in Fort Lee is the do's and don'ts when, you know, all this stuff going on with coronavirus. It give you everything, a list of everything he wants you to do, a list of where places to go on post, not to go on post. The gyms are closed. So basically everything is closed except for like the PX, the exchange, the gas stations, and I think it has a Precision, like a oil change like auto place, but they close at certain times. So everything probably closes at like 4 or 1600, 1700. It depends on the times that they have available there. So please be aware of those policies with the coronavirus going on. So that was one of the paperwork that we had got. The next paperwork we got was the contact information again. When you receive your orders, you receive an email from like the captain that is going to be over you, so like the company commander that's going to be over your class, or the first sergeant. So our class, the first sergeant sent out an email stating, hey, this stuff is going on. We might be the first class doing virtual, everything virtual. We might not see each other, but only on video cam. We might have to do video cam through the whole class, which is fine. So my class, we are doing virtual. Everything is going to be virtual training. Like the briefs is going to be virtual. We're going to be talking to each other just like this, like we're talking to each other, because of everything that's going on. It's getting really serious. A lot of people are dying. A lot of people is getting the virus. Babies are getting it. Soldiers are getting it. Everybody's getting it. So to be safe and aware, we're just going to stay at home and we're going to talk to each other over video cam, which is fine. I definitely understand. So the next thing we did after we do all the paperwork and processing paperwork, we met the company commander and we met the first sergeant. My company commander, she's a female, and my first sergeant, he's male. They work hand in hand, work great together so far as we've seen. So you meet the company commander and the first sergeant. They give you an overview of everything that's going on. They'll let you know what you're gonna get counseled for if you do something bad. They'll let you know, hey, make sure you check your emails, make sure that your phone is on so you can be aware if you need to come in and handle some paperwork, if you need to come in and get a shot. So just be on the lookout for that and be flexible with your time. So they also told us that if we need a laptop, because you know some computers doesn't have the CAD card readers, and all the CAD card readers on post are sold out. You can sign a laptop out from your company commander, and you'll have to like 2062 it and bring it back on the next phases. So in cabin career course, you have 3 phases. So the first phase that we have, you can get a laptop. So when you go to the second phase, you have to re-sign the laptop out for the second phase because you have a different instructor. So we have 3 phases and 3 different instructors that's going to be, you know, grading you on your briefs and everything. So that is one, I guess, kudos for me, because my computer doesn't have a CAD card reader, and my email's not working. So they had to send it to my personal email for, you know, any updates or anything that's going on, which is fine. I'm trying to get that fixed now. So after you meet the company commander, they ask you, and the first sergeant, they ask you if you have any questions for them. A question that came up was the DFAS, so your travel pay. You have to call DFAS for your travel pay if you use your government travel card. So that's one thing that I have to do. The next thing you have to do is your medical. You make sure you switch over your medical from the last duty station that you were at to your current duty station in order to get any medical records done and completed in a timely manner. The next thing that you have to do that that came to my attention was to make sure your family is aware of the situation and the policy as well, because you can get in trouble for your spouse or your family member. So be aware of that, you guys. I'm telling you, be aware of that. The next thing that we did, well, next question that came up was the PT. Like I told you guys, PT. So she did stated that to do PT on your own, we will have a PT test before graduation or during the process of the Captain Career course, because you have to take a PT test. So just be aware of that. The only issues with that is, you know, being together in a big group, but they might change it as, you know, 5 at a time at this time, maybe 2 at a time at this time, you know, split them up in groups like that in order to complete that, you know, process that you have to do. The next person that we met when we were in processing was our operations sergeant. So operations sergeant, she's a staff sergeant. She gave us any information that we may need. So if you're going on pass, leave, or you have to turn in your DA-31, you have to turn in any paperwork, you will go through her, him or her. So we have a female, so her. So you may have a male, it doesn't matter, him or her. You will turn all your paperwork in to your operations sergeant. So she's there to help you. But one thing I don't want you guys to do is keep like emailing them for things, emailing them this for this, that, where you can just look up for yourself, but you just want to do the quicker way just to get it from that person and get it done. But make sure you just research on your own time to get everything done in your own time and then get it turned in on time. So that's basically what happened. So that was the whole first day. Once we met those 3 people, the first sergeant, company commander, the operations sergeant, that was it. They said, hey, be close to your phones. Make sure you stay 6 feet apart from each other and walking out the door. And if you have any questions, please contact us. If you have any updated questions or problems with trying to get things done, just email us, give us a call, and we'll help you out. So that was the whole first day of in processing. Basically, it was quick and simple. They had people there letting you know where to go. They were spread apart as usual, had their masks on and the gloves on, and they were just letting you know where to go, what to do. So that was my whole first day of in processing. It was really quick, really fast. Everything was going really smooth. So that so far so good. So now we have to wait until we get in contact with our platoon leader. So it's a company type Captain Career course where you have company commander, like I said, first sergeant, and you have an XO, and then you have your platoon leaders. So your platoon leaders is where they get in contact. Get in contact with you with any information that, you know, push down to the lowest level, and you turn it back in to your platoon leader, and your platoon leader turns it back in. So basically just a whole company format, which is fine, and that's understandable. I really enjoyed it. So far so good, you guys. I will give you guys more updates, and if you got any questions for me, please leave your comments below and your questions below, and make sure you please subscribe to my channel. And thanks for all the new supporters that come to my channel. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks for being a part of the team and being a teammate. So you guys, without further ado, I am about to end this video, so I'll see you next time. Bye bye.